The Virosh wedding celebrations and drama, Vicky Kaushal's being annoying, and lots of fashion hits and misses from BAFTAs to Fashion Week. Let's get into it.
Listen up, it's jazz.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the Hot Chai Pod, a podcast where we serve all of that sizzling Bollywood tea. I'm your host, Jazz, and like I mentioned at the top, kind of an action-filled episode, and we had some technical delays getting it out this week, but here we are. We are kicking off with the Rashmika Mandanna Vijay Devarakonda wedding of Virosh, as they're calling themselves, or as their fans call them. So this wedding actually did break the internet. And I don't say that lightly, right? They got something like almost 30 million likes on their wedding post, and that is more than like any other Bollywood celebrity wedding, South, the rest of Asia. They broke records for this. What was so special about this wedding, and what do I mean by drama? Get into why everybody loved the wedding so much and their outfits and all of that, but let's back up. Because on Reddit, a few days prior to the wedding, there was this really long post that came out that became very popular, and I started to see some similar things surface, negative things, right, about Rashmika and Vijay's relationship and how it started. So I thought I would do a little deep dive into those rumors and perceptions, and it's basically around three central things. One, which is their timeline for when they started dating and if Vijay was dating someone else and how it got started, right? Two, Vijay going on Koffee with Karan and being with Ananya Panday, his co-star, and people found it very inappropriate. And three, if there's an imbalance in the relationship between Rashmika and Vijay. We'll see. And we'll actually start with the Koffee with Karan drama because it actually plays into the rest of it. First of all, I had to rewatch the episode and it was a little cringe. You know, Karan Johar is like complaining that no one's politically correct anymore, and he's promoting Liger, which is Ananya Panday's film with Vijay Devarakonda. I'm pretty sure it's Vijay's breakout film in Bollywood after coming from the Telugu industry. So the movie, spoiler, was a huge, massive flop that garnered a lot of criticism and hatred and trolling from fans and haters alike. Rightfully so. There's one good song in it, Afa. Okay, it's actually a catchy song, but the video, horrendous, and you know, it really made people turn on Ananya after it, but that's a sidebar. The theme of this episode is very like promotional. Obviously, they're promoting a movie. Obviously, Dharma is supporting Ananya, and Ananya is very flirtatious about Vijay and like, oh, I keep hitting on him during filming. He wants nothing to do with me. He's not getting it. He's so hot. What's wrong with me? There's a few ways to look at this. Like, she could mean it, but I think it's more like a PR strategy. You'll see this a lot with other movies that come out where they kind of pretend to be all like mushy. I think it's weird. It's so inorganic at this point, but like it creates buzz. Recently, Wuthering Heights, Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie's married, but she kind of played into this whole like thing, and people get so scandalized because isn't she married, but her husband's the producer on the film. Like, none of it's random. It's so calculated and it's designed to get people talking. That is what I think was happening here, because it was just too overt. Like, even if you're into your co-star, kind of awkward for you to be like fawning all over him as like a young pretty girl. Like, you don't need to do that. And the other reason I know Dharma was like promoting Vijay as like this hunk and this movie is because in other episodes in this season, like there's an episode with Sara Ali Khan and Janvi Kapoor, they do the same thing. They're like, Vijay Devarakonda's our crush. He's the hottest man of the hour, whatever. You never heard about this man before that or after that, okay? It was only during this Liger season. There were two other weird things. One being that Ananya and Vijay say like they went on a date, and they clarify like, oh, a friend date. Yeah, it was a date. She dressed up nice. Later in the episode, Vijay alludes to like crying on Ananya's shoulder and her being there for him as a comfort. And so then it gets a little murky. It's like, are they just friends? And they're kind of like hamming up this relationship to look like they're together, or there's an interest or not, right? So I think much ado about nothing. And this is how you know Ananya is not a great actress, because during the rapid fire round or something, Ananya actually alludes to him being interested or dating Rashmika Mandanna. She makes some play on words like he's in a rush to meet Mika, saying, okay, that's pretty obvious. And then later, Karan Johar asked Vijay about, I'm hearing you have some girlfriend in Europe. And he's very coy. He said, I have lots of friends. I have whatever. I'm not going to crush my fans' hearts who have posters of me hanging on my wall. Okay, whatever.
Rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
That same like friend zone way, Vijay also says like Rashmika's my buddy, which is also very special to me. So he's playing it cool either which way, right? Also, Karan Johar brings up like, would you ever have a threesome? And Vijay says like maybe he would consider it. A lot of people online were saying that Vijay Devarakonda had this girlfriend in Europe and then at the same time started dating Rashmika Mandanna. And Rashmika and Vijay had worked on a couple films together at this point. Even when Rashmika's film comes out with Ranbir Kapoor, Animal, during promotions, Ranbir actually says something like, I think that she didn't like Animal as much. I think she would have liked Arjun Reddy, which is the movie that Vijay Devarakonda was in with Venga. To me, that is like an external like stamp of like, obviously something was going on. Maybe they were off and on, maybe they were dating. And then people try to like taint or skewer this relationship. Like, how could Rashmika go for a guy with a girlfriend? It's like, this elusive girlfriend, nobody knows. Yes, there were some glimpses of her. People were like, look, she seemed to have been involved with him. It could have been off and on. It was long distance, right? And no one's beholden to anyone. The only one who would be beholden is Vijay. Because let me tell you this, there's those groups on Facebook. It's called Are We Dating the Same Guy? And these girls are going on dates or months or they're engaged to men who are actually like married to other people and they have no idea until they post in this group because then someone's like, that's my friend's boyfriend. It's the craziest thing in the world. So if anything, it's not like Rashmika like, stalking her prey and like trying to take him away from this girlfriend. It would be probably Vijay being like, no, she's just a friend. And then whatever, getting with Rashmika. But that's if that happened, right? It's so hard to say with these like murky timelines. And it was a while ago now. It was like 5-6 years ago when all of this was happening. The other very confusing part of this narrative is like Rashmika's dying to be with Vijay and Vijay doesn't want to be with her. Then you see the exact opposite, which is that Vijay desperately needs Rashmika in Tollywood. And I guess this would ring more true because Rashmika right now definitely is the bigger star. She's had a lot of hit releases. She continues to put out a lot of good work. And Vijay's star a little bit has faded over the past couple years. So people think he's like clinging on to her for like industry relevance and like this is the best he can do. But they have been dating a while and people's stardom like ebbs and flows, like Deepika and Ranveer, right? And they dated for a while too. That's another good example. Here, I guess another concern is Vijay secure enough to date Rashmika if she's a bigger star? Because it could go both ways. You could see it like Aishwarya and Abhishek where it kind of doesn't work because Abhishek never really made it as big as her or his father. And Aishwarya is always the bigger star, even when she's taken a step back in her career. But then you see like Saif Ali Khan and Kareena, and like arguably Kareena Kapoor is definitely the more long-lasting and commercial success between the two right now. And Saif doesn't look like he has any kind of care about it. And none of us can actually answer that. I have seen some criticisms of Vijay being like, he's arrogant and he's awful and he's misogynistic. And Rashmika's this like bubbly, sweet person. And that's why I think a lot of people, to the third point, think that she's so much more into him. I don't know. It is literally her personality. All of her Instagram posts are like bubbly and flowers and hearts and emojis. And I'm like, I just think this is who she is. And maybe he's just the more reserved type. I actually would need to look at their star signs and maybe I'd have even more information.
It's my opinion!
Which actually brings me to the wedding post itself. As I mentioned, it did break the internet. Yes, more than Vicky Katrina, Alia Ranbir, Anushka Virat, even though they were more a while ago, Sid Kiara, they got so many likes on this post. It was a very authentic, traditional moment. They're dressed in this beautiful traditional garb, and he's pulling it off with his physique and all the gold jewelry. And like, I saw someone say that he outshined the bride, but I think that's actually impossible. Rashmika looked like a goddess, and I was seeing that a lot too. Like, they look like Sita and Ram. They look like they should have been cast in the Ramayana. Like, I actually got it.
And that is good looks, and good looks.
You guys may have been a little surprised to hear me say Vicky Kaushal was being annoying. You guys know I like him, and I like this Vic Cat dynamic. I'm a fan of Katrina Kaif for sure, which is why I think his recent comments rub me and other people like me the wrong way. So obviously they have their newborn son. Is a 3-month-old a newborn? I think so. Regardless, he is on stage, Vicky Kaushal, and he makes this comment that Vihan, their son, is 3 months old, and so the dad has very little to do, and that he's just sitting on the sidelines as a cheerleader waiting for the baby to grow up, and that right now only mom, aka Katrina Kaif, is the superhero of the family. Now, I don't doubt that, right? But what is this message? And apparently I'm not the only one who felt this. I saw this account, Moms Uninterrupted, and they posted like, hey, what is this? What do you think the dad can be doing when the baby's 3 months old? And the answers were literally everything else that the mom can do except breastfeed. You can burp them, you can bathe them, you can put them down for bed, you can most importantly give the mom a break. This is slightly irrelevant because between us, these celebrities have so much staff at their disposal. And even though we like to think like, oh, they're in their like mother era and it's all them, it's just mom and baby nonstop. It's not. They have chefs, they have drivers, they have trainers, they have housekeepers, they have nannies, right? Like they have so much help. And I'm not demonizing having staff. I think it's great for 2 working parents or even just 1 working parent if they need extra hands. To me, it's this glamorization of like, only the mom's the superhero. And it kind of plays into that like regressive feeling of only mom knows best. Dad doesn't have to do anything. He just has to be there. And it kind of reminded me of Abhishek Bachchan's comments, I think last year when he's like, Aishwarya 100% takes care of Aradhya and I get to go out and do what I do. And what are you doing? That's so great. Being a flop actor? Not that Vicky Kaushal's a flop actor, but you know what I mean? He has the luxury of saying this because Katrina's kind of out of the limelight. She's still running a massive company, K-Beauty. It's just not a good look. And when you have such a platform, you should be a little bit more mindful of how your language can impact people. But by contrast, we have Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt. And you won't normally see me like fanning out over whatever, they've put out intentionally in the media. But in this case, I gotta give credit where it's due, which is that early on, Alia Bhatt had to quickly go back to film Rocky Rani after giving birth, and Ranbir Kapoor took over, took Raha, and he's in the weeds, and they're talking about how much milk supply, and he burps the baby, and he carries the baby, and like, even if they are doing this a small portion of the time because they have so much help, doesn't matter. It actually is a good look. It's showing that yes, the dad is important too, and the mom's career matters just as much as his career. And in this case, it did. And Ranbir had like rearranged his dates so that he could help Alia. And that's the type of partnership and kind of family dynamic that these celebrities should be responsible and promoting.
We used to go out at night, he's like, wipe that off, because he loves the natural.
And speaking of Miss Alia Bhatt, we were served not 1 but 2 international appearances from her at the BAFTAs and hitting the red carpet. Very controversial, unfortunately, but the look itself was not controversial. She wore a custom silver sequin backless Gucci gown by Demna, and with this white furry stole. It was definitely playing it safe, in like an old Hollywood way. Her hair and makeup were on point, but 60% of the teacups thought that there was room for improvement. So I guess I could see that because it was a little basic. And she got really trolled on the red carpet for the BAFTAs who were nitpicking her expressions and her face, but I think she's just maybe nervous and it's some like imposter syndrome catching up to her in these global spaces where she doesn't feel as comfortable as she does with the Indian media. But then things take a turn for the worse. Alia heads to Milan Fashion Week for this Gucci show, and she is dressed, in this leather blazer trench dress with these massive sunglasses. And this was not received well, The comparisons I saw and the trolling I saw, and I wonder if Gucci sent her a few options or if they only sent her this option because they did her no favors. Her hairstylist did her 0 favors. It was just like falling flat after this kind of perceived win at the BAFTAs for the fashion. But I gotta give it to her because it took some boldness, it took some like chutzpah to go out there and wear this outfit and own it. And like, I wouldn't be able to do that. So I applaud her. She did complain that nobody seemed to recognize her. She's like, oh, it's because of the sunglasses. Girl, I think they confused you with someone else. And these are the suggestions that the internet had. 1, they have Shakti Kapoor as this villain. Okay, this was actually the first comparison I saw, and it really, really made me laugh. The second was the Chota Don character played by Rajpal Yadav. Are his tax problems over? Whatever, that's for another day. I just couldn't stop with this, and then people were like, oh, it's not Chota Don, it's Chota Bachchan, because she calls herself like Lady Bachchan or 5'2" Bachchan, or like, I just finally, this one I actually do think is the most accurate. It's Rajnikant in the film Robot, the film he had with Aishwarya Rai. This one is a 1-for-1. And maybe this is what Gucci was thinking, like get more in touch with the iconic looks. Speaking of iconic looks, they also compared her to Shah Rukh Khan and Badshah. Okay, it's getting further. The best, maybe more productive suggestion was that Alia is auditioning for Krish 4 and she's gonna replace Hrithik Roshan's role. I will say, finally, I did put up a poll and most of the teacups did think that she looked like Neo from The Matrix, and Alia actually said it herself that she was in like a Matrix vibe, so, it all kind of works out. What do you guys think? Which of these looks is the most like the Alia look from Milan Fashion Week? But Alia was not the only Bollywood celebrity at Fashion Week events. We have Kriti Sanon for Burberry in London in this brown set with her hair very interesting and this blue silk scarf / tie. She looked very chic, obviously, because she looks like a model. Teacups agree with that, but it's funny because it's a pretty neutral, nice look, but obviously that's not going to garner as much attention as a look that's really bad, right? Not too much buzz about it on social. Sri Leela at Onitsuka Tiger this year, replacing Rashmika Mandanna, who was busy with her wedding. And this outfit was very busy, unfortunately. And it had us split. Lots of colors, patterns, textures. I thought it was giving more Harajuku girl than just kind of exciting Onitsuka Tiger. And it does seem like everybody was split on that. And finally, we have Kareena Kapoor Khan for Puma. I get what the intent for this look was, right? Very like edgy motorcycle meets athleisure, but it did not work out for her. I don't know what people were thinking with this look either, because it did not serve sporty spice. It was a hot mess from most of us, especially with the sunglasses and the jacket hanging on is like this heavy cape. I don't know. Something wasn't working. Let's be real. The best fashion of this week was from Rashmika Mandanna and Vijay Devarakonda. And with everything crazy happening in the world, thank you guys, by the way, for sitting with me. And I think we could all use a little break from all the rest of the news. But with that, if you like this episode, please press like below, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll be back next week. Bye.
Listen up, it's jazz.